speaking about perineums, there's something that we need to talk about at some point, and this is perineum massage.
Ooh, I like the sounds of that one.
Maybe look into that for next week, and this is something that we're going to have to delve into, quite literally, at some point.
Back!
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm a 30-something with a 4-year-old stepdaughter and a pregnant fiance.
And I'm Daniel. I'm a 30-something, and I've had kids for a while, ranging from toddlers to teens.
Hi, and welcome to this week's podcast. I'm Dan, and this is Ramblings of Dad Men. I'm joined once again, and as always, by my good friend Matt. How are you, Matt?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm glad I did that in one take.
We'll just ignore the 2 takes before. The magic of editing, eh?
Yeah. And snap. Single. What have we been up to this week?
Well, we have had a week of anxiety and organisation. Pretty quiet week. I'm on the countdown till going into a different job. So I've been working from home this week mostly. On Thursday, we had a little scare and I had to have a little trip down to the hospital. Everything's fine, but Becky was complaining of reduced movement. And I don't know if you ever had to do this, but the midwives tie a belt around the stomach and you effectively record the movement for half an hour or so.
Yeah.
Everything was fine apart from the baby moved halfway through the recording, so fucked up the whole monitoring process. So I had to start again from the scratch, and we were there for a few hours, but everything's fine, everything's sorted.
We did experience that with Georgia, you know. I think the midwife sort of gave Beck a bit of advice. There was 2 things. There was one, sort of lie on your side and then switch to the other side, sort of every 10 minutes and see if that jolts them. And then the other one was have a glass of ice cold water, and just that sensation just shocks them into wriggling.
Apparently it's fairly common from week 30 to week 33. And she kind of explained it's because the baby tends to turn on its side with its hands and legs facing, I guess, your spine, your back. So you're naturally not feeling everything because she's pushing onto a different part of your body. So you're not feeling the stomach straight away. So,
I mean, naturally, you've got a lack of space as well. You know, as the baby grows, it's getting bigger and filling up that space.
Well, that's true. She's growing. She's a bigger now. Tuesday, we went back to the scanning place and had our 4D scan. That was good. We managed to get a few little pictures. So that was a good day.
They look like aliens in those pictures, don't they?
It's a bit weird, isn't it? And depending on where the camera is, everything's blacked out. So at one point, she looked like she didn't have a nose or a head it's a bit strange, I guess, isn't it?
It's like a little game of peekaboo. It's like there's nothing. And it's perfect time of the year as well, just to shit you up. And then all of a sudden, she just appears and goes,
So this week, we've proper had a spring clean in October. A few months late, that's exactly like me, isn't it?
It's spring in Australia.
Yeah, it'll do, right? So between us, we've been cleaning and sorting the house out as to get as baby ready as possible. We've now set up our own eBay shop for all the stuff that we've got on eBay, I think.
At Ramblings for Dad Men on eBay.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. Just to clarify, if anyone does actually set up an eBay shop at Ramblings for Dad Men, we want 10%.
Yeah. 12. Then we can split it evenly. Not that you couldn't split it evenly with 10%, but that sounds a little bit better, doesn't it? Have you managed to watch the James Bond film yet?
No, we're planning on going the week after next.
I haven't watched it also, but I was watching a little vlog on YouTube. Let's just say some very naughty man gave away the ending without any spoilers. So I know what's happened. I won't give anything away. It's kind of put me off a little bit just because I kind of know which direction they're going.
I'm avoiding that. I'm trying to avoid everything and reading about it. I've heard it's had lots of good reviews. I'm very excited.
Well, literally, he just came up with. He didn't say anything to do with Bond. It was just a normal vlog of a guy from Wigan sitting in a truck, the most boring thing you could possibly think of. And about 3 minutes in, it was like, oh, I went to watch this and you bellends. Unsubscribe.
Turn off notifications. Ring that bell.
Ring that bell end. We've also started a hypnobirthing course this week. I don't know if you had anything to do with hypnobirth or anything like that.
No, not really.
The whole point of it, I guess, is to try and breathe the baby out. And we'll...
Okay, I don't think that's how it works.
Well, the woman does have some good points. Usually it's £200 per session to go and see this woman, but due to COVID and everything, she's doing some online sessions and you buy them. It's not live or anything like that, and you buy the video sessions. So we've bought 6 hours worth of videos, so we started watching these now, and it's good. Becky's getting something out of it. I'm getting something out of it, but they're a bit boring.
Are there lots of whale noises?
No, although there is a moo noise. So apparently it isn't uncommon for women to moo in labour. That's what I learned today.
I think someone's fucked up there. I think that said all women in labour are cows.
I would never say that.
Neither would I, and I do not advocate whoever said that out loud. However, I did like the post.
Apparently, as you start being a little bit more guttural and you're forcing your breaths down, which is how you're meant to do it, you're meant to breathe in and short shoot breath, so you're pushing your diaphragm down effectively, so helping with the push and in contractions, otherwise known as surges. This is another word that I've learned today. Apparently, an instinct is for women to moo. So
I can't help but sit there and just picture bullseye. Out of the black and into the red. Let's have a look at what you could have won. Oh, it's a baby. Set of twins.
I wanted the speedboat.
It'll take me the commercial break to count out your BFH. That's your bus fare home. £2.50. How's it taking that long for count £2.50?
Probably something else Becky's never watched,
To be fair, she's not missing much.
No, she is.
It was either a microwave oven or a speedboat.
Yes. Yeah, or a set of kitchen knives or something like that. Wasn't it?
There was something really crap or something amazing that you'd never use.
In part 2 of getting Becky to try and watch things that I liked from my childhood, we were watching the Grand Tour earlier as well. We've been watching quite a bit of it recently because it's quite easy watching, isn't it? And one of the guests was Bill Goldberg.
Oh, wow.
So obviously, she was like, I don't know who this guy is.
Who's this bald man with a face fuzz?
That's kind of what it was like. So it was Bill Goldberg and Anthony Joshua was on there, and I think the premise was who's the fastest boxer person that strangles people, and who's the fastest out of them two. And she was like, I know Anthony Joshua because all my friends fancy him, but I don't know the other guy. And well, I'd probably go for him. I'm like, well, of course you would. He's 50. We know you like older people.
I wouldn't want to get rugby tackled off him.
No, absolutely not. But anyway, she was like, oh, well, maybe I might give this wrestling. I know it's a while away off, but in January, she said that she'll watch the Royal Rumble. Wow. I said, we can watch the Royal Rumble. We can have a... She goes, I don't know what that is. It says, it doesn't matter. 1 o'clock in the morning.
We get to stay up all night and watch oiled men in underpants wrestle with each other.
I said, we'll be awake anyway. We'll have a 10-year-old baby or something. And then she was like, yeah, that's fine.
You can feed her between bouts. We've had quite a slow week. Beck's been out with one of her friends on Friday. That's about the highlights of our week. Finished Squid Game.
Still not watched that yet. Is it still good?
It was more-ish, and I get the attraction. It wasn't something that I wanted to watch more of it, but it's not something I'm in a rush to watch again. It's something you really loved. You could watch it again, like Afterlife, for example. I can watch that again now. Yeah, it was good. It did evolve, and there's some key episodes in it that if you do watch it to sort of look out for. Umbrella, and then Marbles. And that's all you're getting out of it.
I have heard some vague reference about umbrellas, but I haven't. It went past my head.
Other than that, what's now the new norm for me, I've been watching one of the nephews play rugby this morning. He was in a semi-final.
This is an actual thing for you now, isn't it? Every week.
I know, becoming habitual. They had a cracking game. It was really close. I think it finished with 4 points in it. It was a semi-final of a cup match. I almost lost my voice, screaming and shouting, jumping for joy. And I can't go watching them every week because my heart's not going to keep up with it.
Yeah.
It's so much better, so much more thrilling. Can't say enough about grassroots sports.
Absolutely. Grassroots sports are amazing. It's amazing for communities. It's amazing for kids in general, isn't it? In terms of we grew up doing that, and it kind of molded the people we became, I guess.
Well, that's actually where me and you met.
Correct. Yeah, when we were
4.
Yeah. And then you still said, run at me.
No, let's get it right. Run at me, you bastard.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, our favourite topic of the week, Podmin.
Oh, Podmin.
For me, this week, I've got absolutely fuck all. However, the next half hour is going to be dedicated to you. You've got a mess with fucking ton.
I have got a lot that I need to apologise for last week, haven't I? I really have. I'll get the list.
It's only 4 pages, listeners, don't worry.
Before I go into it, I think it's just a good point to just mention our competition that's going on. It's still going ahead. We're still having a brownie giveaway. It's still up for another couple of weeks yet. Obviously, we're going to announce it at the end of the month. All you need to do is follow us at Ramblings of Dadmen on Instagram, like and comment, and also follow Blue Anchor Bakery. There's no catches. That's all you have to do, and we will announce a winner in a couple of episodes' time.
No purchase necessary. Quite the opposite, actually. We're going to give you something. We're going to be the ones purchasing it.
Yeah. Everyone should try these brownies anyway. We've tried a lot of brownies in the past few months, and these are genuinely amazing. So give them a like and try and eat them.
Still just as good at marketing. If we don't get tapped up for doing adverts for marketing and all sorts, then something's seriously wrong.
I know. Yeah. My drama degree came in for nothing, really.
Come and buy these Nike trainers. They're really comfy and proper good for running and shit.
Right. So, last week, I mentioned that we played a game where we picked a country. It wasn't Croatia. It was the Czech Republic. The film was called On the Roof. Everybody should watch that film, On the Roof. It's a great little film. It's in Czech, but it is great.
Is it set on a roof by any chance?
I think it ends on a roof, funny enough. But yeah, it's a great film. So apparently, I said iWatch last.
Oh, you did? And I sat there and thought, I didn't know Becky had an iWatch.
Yeah, it's a Fitbit. That's what she had. She doesn't even have an Apple phone, so I don't know why she would have an iWatch in the first place. But it was a Fitbit. Oh, we'll keep going, should we?
You're such a dad.
Yeah. I said that Flossie gets up at 5 a.m. saying she's had like 6 hours sleep. I just want to make it quite clear that we don't put her to bed at 11 p.m. Right? She usually goes to bed about 7:30. Yeah.
But to be fair, I'll take part of the blame for that because I heard that and I did the quick maths in my head. I didn't pull you up on it.
Yeah, she doesn't go to bed at 11. I mean, in fairness, for the past week, we've been in bed like well before 11. I think I fell asleep at 9:30 on Friday. And finally, so I mentioned about Flossie being a toddler, but also going to school as well. And I think one of the things that we queried is, when does a toddler not become a toddler? I think you had the similar kind of thing, like thinking toddlers, like when is a toddler not a toddler anymore?
For me, it's like I would have said they're a toddler until they're about maybe where Flossie is now. So she's a bit of a grey area. She's transitioning out, but apparently not. We're both knobheads.
Yeah. 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 Tell you what we have done this week. I've not mentioned it because it's a big one. We have started packing the Earth bag.
Ooh.
Yeah. On it, we've got a list. I won't go through the whole itinerary at the minute, but I'll give out some of the key points, should I? For labour, we've got labour, baby, post-birth, and mats. Like, we've subdivided these categories. Labour, cooling spray.
Yeah.
Just in case you need it. Post-birth, spritz for bits. Some of them are in there.
Whoever came up with the name for that, I'm just a high five. Spritz your bits.
Yeah. So those are in there. We've got the maternity pads, nipple creams in there.
Oh, nice.
We've got breast pads.
Is the nipple cream for you?
Well, it's not subcategoried into my section.
Maybe you've got to try it. I don't know.
Yeah. We've got nappies, and we've got muslins, and we've got a swaddle in there. And for me, I've got my wallet.
Because you'll need it for the taxi home. Get the fuck out.
Yeah. I mean, we're 32 weeks now, so potentially the baby could be here in 4 weeks' time, you know.
So, we are weak.
Oh, yeah, of course. 32 weeks. She is the size of a cabbage this week.
Did you go from a coconut to a cabbage?
I know, she's massive now. And
What's next? A bag of carrots? Just let's see.
yeah.
What else is the size of a cabbage? Lettuce? You could have used the lettuce, big lettuce, iceberg.
Could have used that. I think we used baby gem lettuce at one point, though, didn't we? But yeah.
Baby gem's smaller. I mean, what else? What else is that size? I mean, a pumpkin. There we go. Seasonal.
We're a few weeks down the line for a pumpkin, I think.
Oh,
I think
a small pumpkin.
It could be a small pumpkin.
Beck's done this little arrangement in the living room. I know we're digressing slightly. She sort of decorated. She's gone all autumnal and she tried doing a little bit of a Halloween theme in the living room. And she's got these pumpkins, and one of them is the smallest pumpkin I've ever seen. It's like the size of an orange.
Definitely a pumpkin.
Definitely a pumpkin.
Squash of some sort.
Definitely a pumpkin. But what pissed me off even more was she told me that they were all the same price.
Must be organic. There's a house a couple of those down from us that have put up a Halloween/autumnal wreath, and I've never seen that before. Obviously, you see lots of Christmas wreaths, but someone's put a Halloween wreath down.
Yeah. People are taking a lot more pride in the houses these days, aren't they? So it's happening a lot more. I see there's a couple on our estate, and I'm pretty sure if Beck, when she hears this episode back, she'll be like, it's not a fucking bad idea, that. Yeah. So we might be having one very soon. Right. Podmin done. This week, I wanted to do something a little bit fun, because I know last week was a bit, let's just say a bit somber. It was quite serious. It wasn't the usual funny self, and I thought we needed to lighten it up a little bit. So this week, what I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 10 things. Some of these we've mentioned, and I want you to give me a definition of them. Yeah?
And these are, let me just clarify, am I trying to get the answers to these, or am I trying to...
Yeah, if you know it, give me I know this, and then you can give me a wrong answer.
Okay, all right, fine.
Okay, I'll start you off easy. A bloody show.
In fairness, you gave me the wrong answer in the first place, didn't you? So
I think that just means I can't judge because I still don't know what the fuck one is.
Yeah. Fine, it's a mucus plug.
Yeah.
That happens just before, like, the birth.
Yeah. Okay. Braxton Hicks contractions.
Oh, right. No, I do know this because Becky's been getting a lot of Braxton Hicks. So it's, I mean, if I give a wrong answer,
Go on then.
like you have cheese and Braxton Hicks on a sandwich. I don't know. No, in all serious, Becky has been getting a little bit of Braxton Hicks every now. So they're like little fake contractions, aren't they? Or you're getting your body set up for contractions, for want of a better word. So she has had like tiny little ones so far. And I think that's quite normal for everybody, right?
Apparently from 8 months onwards, it's normal and it prepares the uterus for labour. Unlike true labour, they aren't painful and don't get stronger or closer over time. So if they do, they may not be fake.
I'm just going to say, in which case, fuck.
Yeah. Get the bag. Get the bag and your wallet.
Yeah.
Number 3, colostrum.
A colostrum? Oh, God, that sounds like some sort of operation that a surgeon would give you.
Where?
On your colostrum.
Whereabouts on your body is a colostrum?
Oh, I mean, it sounds internal to me, doesn't it? It sounds internal.
Oh, yeah, Becky's just had a colostrum removed.
Exactly, right? Like, men go and get a colostrum when they're, like, over 50. It's an awkward conversation with the doctor. And she slaps on the glove and the lube.
That's a colonic.
Yeah.
So colostrum is a thin, sticky and yellow fluid secreted by the breasts before the production of true breast milk.
Right. Maybe that was the Matthew Swayze thing. That maybe that's what I got was a colostrum. Is it literally the equivalent to getting a little bit of fat off a blue top milk?
So the next bit actually says it's rich in fats, protein, and antibodies, and some women notice small amounts of it during and toward the end of pregnancy.
So that'll be good on cornflakes.
Coming soon, colostrum-covered cornflakes. Number 4, and I've mentioned this one, so I'll be disappointed if you don't know it, an episiotomy.
Yes, I do know an episiotomy. So I'm meant to give a fake answer. It's kind of hard giving a fake answer when you know it. And like, can you get anything more funny or more painful than the actual thing?
I would say no woman has ever found an episiotomy funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Poor choice of words, Matthew. Well, we know what an episiotomy is. It's a cut, and it could go from stage 1 or stage 4, and.
Okay. That's a tick. Right. Here's a good one. I hadn't heard of the official phrase, but I knew what it was. Fontanelles.
The first thing that comes into my head is chocolate L's from a well-known chocolate shop that's just closed down. So seriously, that's the first thing that's come into my head. I can't think of anything that it could be.
What the fuck's that got to do with childbirth?
Well, in the birthing bag, it says snacks. Maybe it could be a fontanelle.
Okay, so it's fontanelle with an F. It's a soft spot on the baby's head that allows the skull to compress during birth and pass through the birth canal. So obviously they've got a little soft spot on the top of the head, and that doesn't heal straight away. So top tip, don't press the very top of the head like for a good, well actually it says here, and they don't completely fuse until the child's 2nd birthday.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, there'll be a little like very soft spot where there's no bit of skull and it continues to grow once they're out of the womb. I don't think you'll find that in Thornton's.
I mean, that'd be an odd-shaped chocolate.
We're halfway through. Okay. Number 6. This one's an acronym. HCG.
HCG.
Human chorionic gonadotrophin.
Human chorionic gonadotrophin. I have absolutely no idea. Human, well, obviously human. Gonadotrophic, did you say?
Chorionic.
Oh, we're back to the colon again. Is that chorionic gonadotropin? This sounds like a growth, like a hormone that they inject in you to help out with like pain relief.
So close. You started on the right track with hormone. It is a hormone that your body produces, and it's the one that they use to. It basically comes. Your body produces it when you're pregnant, and it's that comes out in the wee that the pregnancy tests actually look for. And if it spots it, then it confirms you're pregnant.
Right. Okay. Oh, so close on that.
Right. Now this one, I'm going to give you a top tip. It's not an Italian coffee. Lanugo.
Oh, Lanugo sounds like an Italian coffee. Lanugo sounds like the dishy doctor that might come in and, just like give some advice. Hi, Dr. Lanugo. That's probably 50 with a Jaguar and, a nice chiseled beard. And Lanugo sounds like the machine that goes beep at the hospital. Oh, come on, let's just check the Lanugo just to make sure. I'm
so glad we played this game. It's a fine temporary hair that covers the fetus by the middle of the pregnancy, and it begins to shed by the 8th month, but can sometimes still be present at birth. So it's the little bits of hair that keep the baby warm.
Yeah, no, I have heard. Yeah, like sometimes babies come out a little bit hairy, don't they? So
yeah. So that's the technical term for it, not an Italian coffee or an Italian doctor
or a machine.
Yeah. Here's one you might have heard of. We've not discussed it. Linea nigra.
Sorry, what?
Linea nigra.
Have
I really hope I'm getting that pronunciation right.
Have you ever seen the guy, young kid, at the spelling contest, and he was given a very specific word, which I won't mention?
No, but I can guess where it's going.
Okay, well, he spelt it right, but he didn't expect to spell it right. Let's just say it that way. Say it one more time.
Oh my God, there goes acting career. Linea nigra.
Lydia. So Linea is a translation of a forward lunge to help labour move forward. Like labour's trying to go back. You know, you're trying to deal with the contractions. So if you just do a linea nigra, it helps out a little bit. It's like a little lunge.
It's so much better to just let you keep digging. No, okay, so unfortunately that one was wrong. And it's a so-called black line that runs down the centre of the abdomen to the top of the pubic bone. The darkening is caused by pregnancy hormones, and it may be more noticeable in dark-skinned women than those with fair skin. Not a fucking lunge.
Oh, God.
Oh, this is it. Right. Next one, number 9. Meconium's the term that I'm looking for. Or it could be classified as meconium aspiration, which is something else that happens to it.
Meconium, I have absolutely no idea. That sounds like a historic religion. Aspiration, well, I kind of know to aspirate. I kind of know that that's medical procedure of some sort that you do with a syringe, don't you? So meconium aspiration, is it where I don't know, it's ancient teaching where you push down onto the stomach to help fluid come out?
You get like 0.1 of a point.
Oh, fucking hell, really?
Fluid related. So meconium, it's the stuff that makes the first nappy fucking disgusting.
Okay.
It is a brownish, greeny type fluid that they basically poo out in one of the first nappies. Not some religion from 2,000 years ago.
Maybe I was thinking of draconian, but I still don't think that's a religion, is it?
Meconium aspiration, it's not something we should laugh at. It's when the baby actually does that before they've come out. So that's when things can get quite serious. But yeah, meconium is just the first nappy. Or it's in the first nappy. It's a fluid. Okay. And then the last one, number 10, you'll be glad to hear, Von Twos.
Von Twos?
No, it's not Dracula doing a 1-2.
Von Twos? I mean, the first image in my head was Volivants. The second image I've got in my head is Paul and Barry Chuckle. Like, trying to get a ladder in, and they're trying to 1-2 the ladder in the doorway in one go. Like, I don't know where my brain's going at the minute.
Yeah, it's when two doctors are having they're trying to get Von 2, Von 2.
Yeah, it's a German doctor counting down. Von 2. Push, Von 2.
Von 2, lunge. No, okay, so I'll put you at your misery. So there's two things. So it's called a vacuum extraction. The Von 2s is officially, it's like a little suction cup that goes on baby's head. If baby's not coming out, gets stuck or whatever, they put that on the baby's head, a little bit of and then, helps mum pushing out, or they pull and mum pushes, and then the Chuckle Brothers effect, you push, I'm pulling, to you, all happens and baby comes out. But then that could escalate. I think an alternative version is forceps. The only way I can describe them are like two dessert spoons.
Yeah.
That are joined like a pair of crap scissors. So they basically go in and sort of grab baby's head from either side and that's used instead of the little suction cup on top of the head. I've heard of Von2s before. Today was the first time I've learned how that was actually spelt. So you don't want to know what massage history looks like to find it. I did stumble on a couple of others I didn't want to test you with, but I thought they were sort of noteworthy mentions. Okay, so Lockyer is. Oh, go on. Let's just carry it on. Let's do another couple.
Lockyer wasn't that an Australian rugby player?
Yeah, Darren Lockyer comes and helps you give birth to your baby.
yeah. He's not doing much after retirement now, so he can.
All right, ladies. Right, let's get a little baby out. Somebody pass me the Von2s. Where's the Chuckle Brothers? Right, no, it's postpartum vaginal discharge and bleeding that resembles a heavy period and continues after delivery up until about 6 weeks before tapering off.
Why did they give that a fucking name? So I always remember something that I'm sure it was your cousin once said on her description of giving birth to a baby, which was pushing a basketball through a letterbox. That's going to hurt and cause some sort of. It's not going to hurt, but this is something that we've talked about on the hip the birth. Actually, it's not going to hurt because it's completely normal and your body knows exactly what it's going to know. So it's about retraining your mind. However, like there is going to be some bleeding. So why have they called that Lockyer? Like again, they just called a spade a spade.
Maybe the guy who came up for the phrase was actually watching, an Aussie rules, an Australian football match.
Sorry, busted nose or something, and thought,
yeah, that's going to bleed for about 6 weeks. Oh, I know. There it is. Darren Lockyer. That does link to the next one, actually. Puerpium. And I probably pronounced that wrong. Puerperium. That I can't even say. Puerperium. It's like a fucking shit aquarium, doesn't it?
I think I know this. Is it perennium?
No.
Oh.
Puerperium.
No idea.
Puerperium. There we go. So this is the span of time from the end of delivery until the uterus returns to its pre-pregnancy state, which is usually about 6 weeks.
Ah, right. Okay. That's interesting.
So it does link to Darren Lockyer. Oh, not actually Darren Lockyer.
Speaking about perenniums, there's something that we need to talk about at some point, and this is perennium massage.
Ooh, I like the sounds of that one.
Maybe look into that for next week, and this is something that we're going to have to delve into, quite literally, at some point.
Back! Okay, a couple more. Mastitis.
Mastitis? Oh, that sounds like a urine infection.
Very close.
Oh.
It's an infection of the milk duct in the breast.
All right, okay.
I think from what I've heard and what I've read, it's quite painful, but you can try and massage it out, lots of warm compresses and things, and sometimes it can result in antibiotics.
Matthew Swayze can do what he's good at.
Come here, love, let me massage your tits. The next one, right, I swear it's not an actual name of something. I reckon the guy's just gone, I can't be arsed thinking of anything. Relaxing.
Relaxing? Is that literally it?
That is a chemical. It's a hormone. Can you guess what it does?
Is it the chemical that's released like 2 minutes after a man finishes and then goes to sleep straight away?
Right, love. I can feel the relaxing in my body.
Yeah.
See you in the morning.
Yeah.
It's the hormone that causes joints and ligaments to soften and become stretched during pregnancy and allows pelvic bones to expand easily during labour and delivery. And it's also the reason why pregnant women are more susceptible to dislocations and joint injuries.
Oh, right. Okay, that makes sense.
An interesting fact, it can also cause an expectant mother's foot size to increase.
Right, okay. So, I don't know who this is more embarrassing for at the minute, but me and Becky share shoes.
I mean, I'm not going to say, but stop sending me pictures of you in high heels.
No. But between us, we have quite a handsome shoe collection, like trainers, Converse, Doc Martens, but we are generally the same size. she's probably about half a size smaller than I am. She's recently being more comfortable in my shoes, which I kind of explain it because her shoes are, half a size difference. That makes sense, doesn't it? So that's quite interesting.
Yeah, maybe it's that.
Yeah.
Maybe she's relaxing too much. The next one was actually something you mentioned a little bit earlier on. Squat bar.
Squat bar.
So it's basically an attachment for the birthing bed that puts women in that position where they need to bend. Exactly what you said. So they're in that like sort of almost a squat. They lie down, but they're in the knees are raised, so it puts everything else in an engaged position. So when they pulled this fucking squat bar out for Beck, it was like watching a transformer just appear out of nowhere. She was lied on this bed, and she'd been on there for God knows how long. And I just thought, yeah, it's just a bed. The usual hospital things with the controls, a little button on the side, the up and down. And then this doctor comes in, and she full on pulls the bottom half of the bed off. That's gone into some other room, and pulls these two stirrups out of either side, just conveniently with hiding underneath the bed. So she could get right up close and in there, and Beck's legs were sort of like mounted either side, as most women would be in that position. So the doctor's got the perfect view.
When you said Transformers, just had this image of Optimus Prime head sticking out. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the time, does it? I imagine, because you've got so much endorphins running around you, but that surely is the most vulnerable a woman could be. You've got all these people looking around you, and you're just in there in stirrups, showing all your glory.
Yeah, like you said, times of not desperation, but there's a sense of urgency. And I thought about that. And Beck had a student midwife, and they actually said, like, would you mind us having a few students in the room to watch? Everyone's got to learn, but I think it just wasn't for us at the time, and we didn't feel comfortable with it. We didn't want another 6 or 7 people all stood around watching. And there was already at this point, because we'd had to have the Bond 2, since I knew about them, there was a doctor, a midwife, 2 nurses. There was a lot of people already in the room, and I just didn't want a bigger experience.
It's not a show, isn't it? You don't want it like some sort of experiment where someone's looking at it. I understand that. Funnily enough, though, because we're going for the home birth section, that's the aim at the minute.
Mm.
So with a home birth, you'll get 2 midwives coming over, but one of the boxes you tick is, are you comfortable with a student midwife coming over as well? And we have ticked yes for it on the thinking that 3rd midwife, because I think Becky had an experience where she really had a connection with the student midwife that was in the first time, and she found her a lot more empathetic in terms of helping out, getting drinks, rubbing backs and stuff like that. Just having a bit more of an emotional human connection, because a student midwife is just that, as a student. So
yeah, they're still learning the craft, aren't they?
Yeah. So they'll get a bit more by trying to help out in the background, whatever that may be. So we've actually ticked that option to get a student in. I mean, if anything, they can make a brew.
Don't get me wrong. So one of the midwives that we had for Georgia was a student midwife, and she was assigned to just stay with us. So I'm all for that. And she came in, introduced herself. She was lovely, and she was really helpful. The whole thing that we sort of turned down was a set of students coming in, which is sort of like an additional 6 or 7 people.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
I mean, everyone's got to learn. We were just going through, it had progressed a little bit to that point where we didn't want that.
You just wanted the kind of, as quickly and efficient as possible, and without being a how-to guide in this kind of situation, or that way.
Yeah.
You're effectively the DVD in the classroom, if you get
Last one. And I pulled this one out because I know it's possibly semi-relevant to you. Toxoplasmosis.
Oh, God. That sounds like some sort of discharge.
I mean, technically it is, but it's just not from a woman. No. So it's an infection carried in cat feces.
Oh, right. Yes. So we had a cat. We don't have a cat anymore, for several reasons. having said that, the cat has gone to Flossie's dad, and if that wasn't an option, we still would have a cat. I think it's because Becky's attached to Jack the cat, and Flossie's really attached to him as well. And in my still current job, but soon to be a whole job, I used to work away at least one day a week, sometimes two. So that meant that Becky couldn't change the cat there.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of reasons why we decided to let the cat go on a bit of a long-term holiday, and namely because he sleeps on my fucking head. Like, that isn't a joke.
That's the other thing, isn't it? They do like sleeping on sort of warm things, and part of the thing that you're supposed to look out for with cats in a house of babies and things is that they don't get anywhere near the cot because they can climb in the cot, and sadly it is a thing where they'll sleep on the baby, and they could.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a tough decision, I guess, but it was ultimately the right decision. And in terms of our stress levels, it's reduced it significantly. And Flossie still gets to see Jack half the time as well. So it's fine. We've replaced Jack with a robot Hoover. Just as annoying. So that just comes in the room when it wants to say hello. Buggers off.
Hello, give me a shit. Right, thanks. Right, I'm going out.
It's exactly like a cat. Like, it comes to what it is and then buggers off.
Do you ever get tempted, like when the robot's just coming around, to just throw some shit on the floor in front of it? Just like, that's just something I think I'd just try, just out of devilment of like, this robot's just hoovering up, doing its job, and you're like, here, there's some fucking rubbish. Take that with you.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's very dramatic, our Hoover, though. It's very dramatic. There's a famous meme where your Hoover's stuck on a cliff and it's like a little 2-foot drop step or something like that, but it is exactly like that. Like, as soon as it goes to like a little edge, it screams and beats red and saying, I can't get over it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah, so I do know what that means, and I do know how dangerous it was, and I was very overcautious about that, to be honest, because right at the start, I mean, you're looking at everything, aren't you? Like, don't do this, don't do that, be as careful as you can be. And just the fact that I was working away quite a bit and the cat had to go for that reason, really. Okay, well, that took a turn for this week, didn't it? Like, I hope there's some good stuff there. I've learned a lot. I have from that.
I certainly learned a lot doing the research for it. I think I don't even know what score you got. I will listen back in the edit and bring you a score next week.
Yeah, in terms of Podman, you can let me know how I've done. Maybe grade it as well. I was going to say give me like a B, but it's not even fucking ABCs anymore, is it?
No, you get a D- for now.
Becky got the D+. Sorry. So our parents listen to this.
You'll be Podmaning next week. It's like, nope, she hasn't had the D for about 8 months. I would just like to clarify. It's been 33 weeks this week since we have. We've rambled on enough at that point.
Yeah, so thank you everybody for listening. Don't forget, we still have our brownies competition. Please, please, please enter it. You can win something for nothing.
We are shit at marketing.
We really are, but you'll be helping out 2 brands, and please. Maybe you should do this bit as well.
Yeah, at this point, you've said enough. You know, if you want to enter, we're not forcing you. We're going to give you something if you do. The terms and conditions are out there. Find us on Instagram at Ramblings for Dad Men, at Ramblings of Dads, one of them. Which area?
It's at Ramblings of Dad Men.
There we go, that one. Fucking hell, I'm shit at marketing now. Yeah, find us on Instagram. The post is on there. It's pretty obvious which one it is. It isn't the one of me dressed as Freddie Mercury or locked in a car boot. You know, we'll be announcing it in a couple of weeks, and wish everyone the best of luck.
And on that note, guys, see you next week.
See you next week, everyone. Ta-da.